Don't skip, you don't have to pretend to be strong. What you need is a mind steady enough that nothing can shake it. No criticism can throw you off. No failure can make you panic. No temptation can pull you off course. And when you build that kind of mind, your very presence speaks louder than words. People will feel the pressure without you saying a thing. That kind of strength isn't new. It's been forged for over 2,000 years by warriors, emperors, and those who survived the chaos of their time. All thanks to one thing, Stoicism. It's not just a philosophy to admire, it's a battle-tested toolkit for anyone who wants to master their life, control emotions, build discipline, see things clearly, and become immune to manipulation and pain. If you're tired of the chaos, if you want to become unshakable, watch this video till the end. Stoicism might just be what you've been searching for. Number 1. Growth comes with loneliness. Loneliness. Do you want a mind so powerful it makes others uneasy? Then brace yourself, for the first thing you'll feel is a loneliness so intense. It takes your breath away. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because for the first time, you're doing what's right for you. You stop playing along with what everyone else accepts without question. You no longer fake excitement at empty social events. You start questioning what you used to follow blindly. And from that moment on, you're no longer normal. The world won't like it. The clearer your vision gets, the more it unsettles others. Every choice you make shines a light on what they've been avoiding. When you quit smoking, they feel judged. When you stay quiet while others gossip, they call you distant. But the truth is, you're not doing anything to them. You've just stopped wanting to be like them. Be honest. Aren't you tired of performing, of pretending to care about things that don't touch your soul, of smiling when you feel empty? You're not cold. You're just done being a background character in someone else's emotional drama. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "To live a good life, we have the potential for it if we can learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference." A good life isn't measured by how many people surround you, but by how free you are from things that don't matter. And what truly scares people is this. When you stop chasing meaningless noise, you show them just how loud their own distractions are. From here on out, you'll have to master one of the hardest skills of all, walking alone without losing your way. No one teaches you how to do that. No school hands out a manual for staying awake while the rest of the world sleeps. But here's the truth. A strong mind isn't forged through applause, but in moments where no one understands you and you still don't fold. Picture this. You're standing in a dimly lit room. No phone, no voices, no distractions, just you and your rawest thoughts. Can you handle that silence, or will you scramble to fill it, to escape, to drown it out with noise? Because if you can't sit alone with yourself, you'll always be a hostage to the crowd. And if you always need the crowd to feel whole, you'll never be strong enough to become who you really are. Emily Dickinson lived in silence, but her words echo through centuries. Nikola Tesla spent most of his life in isolation, but his ideas shaped the modern world. They didn't blend in, they stepped away. And in that solitude, they found razor-sharp clarity. Are you willing to pay that price tonight? Just once turn everything off, lock your door, sit down and write. What are you avoiding? What questions are you afraid to ask yourself? Why do you need so many people to feel like you matter? The answers won't come right away, but in that space, something stronger will begin to grow inside you. And remember, loneliness isn't the punishment. It's the place where reconstruction begins. It's the battlefield where your mind learns not to break. Once you can stand in silence and not wither, everything else, judgment, rejection, failure, becomes just background noise. And when you rise from that silence with a mind that can't be shaken, the world will look at you differently. Not with admiration, but with caution, because they'll know you're no longer dependent, no longer easy to manipulate. And a mind like that, it makes people uncomfortable. Are you ready? Because the next lesson is even harder. When you change, the same people who once applauded you may be the first to walk away, and you'll need to stand tall when they do. Number 2, your change will threaten others. When you start to change, even in small ways like thinking differently, speaking more thoughtfully, turning down pointless drinking sessions, or sharing more thoughtful perspectives, it can be enough to make people around you uncomfortable, not because you've done something wrong, but because your growth, however subtle, acts like a mirror reflecting their own stagnation. And people by instinct don't like looking into mirrors that show them something they're not proud of. You might have felt this before. You start reading more, trying out minimalism, or stop complaining and begin taking responsibility for your choices. You expect support, maybe even excitement, but instead you hear half-joking comments like, "Getting too deep for us, huh?" Or, "Since when did you get all philosophical?" Or worse, you get silence and disinterest when you share something meaningful. It's not that you're wrong, it's that you're making them confront themselves. Mental growth, especially when it's real, is quiet but powerful. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The light doesn't say anything, but suddenly everything becomes visible. And if someone's grown comfortable in the dark, that light can feel harsh. Social psychology has a name for this: groupthink. It's the mechanism that keeps everyone aligned on the surface to preserve a sense of safety. In a group used to complaining, the first person to go quiet and look for solutions is labeled weird, distant, or even dangerous. Not because they're wrong, but because they disrupt the old order. And all evolution by nature is a threat to what no longer serves us. Ever wonder why Socrates was sentenced to death? It wasn't really because he was corrupting the youth of Athens, as the charges claimed. It was because he forced society to face its delusions, its blind beliefs and lazy thinking. He didn't kill anyone, didn't steal anything, but through his questions, he made people think, and that alone terrified those in power. The same happened with Malcolm X. When he shifted his message from black nationalism to a broader humanist vision, he wasn't just hated by the system. He was seen as a traitor by his own allies. Sometimes growth makes you a threat to your old tribe. So here's the real question. Have you ever held back your growth just to keep others comfortable? How many times have you shrunk yourself to stay safe in someone else's approval? Here's a truth most people won't tell you. The ones you try to please today might be the first to abandon you when things fall apart. But the inner strength you build, even if it's lonely, is what will save you. Don't shrink back just because others aren't ready to move forward. No one grows without leaving some shadows behind. And if you're feeling lonely in your growth, remember what Marcus Aurelius said. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. What should you do when others feel uncomfortable with your growth? Don't over-explain. Don't beg for understanding. Stay quiet and keep going. Real change doesn't need validation. It speaks through results and inner peace. Here's a simple practice. Write down 3 things you're changing and 3 negative reactions you've received. Then ask yourself, if I went back to who I was, would I respect myself more? The answer is usually clear. A strong mind isn't one that avoids resistance. It's one that keeps going despite it. Not everyone is ready for the new, but if you are, stop asking for permission, just move. If this resonates with you, share one change you're making in the comments. Sometimes it only takes one person speaking up for others to find the courage to be real. And if you're ready to build an unshakable mind, subscribe. We've got a long road ahead and it's worth every step. Number 3, let go of needing. Let go of needing approval. Approval, people fear what they can't control. A free mind, one that doesn't seek approval or permission, is the most unsettling thing to the crowd because it doesn't play by their rules. When you stop living for validation, you become unpredictable. And to society, that's a threat. Not because you're dangerous, but because you force people to confront what they've avoided in themselves. Nature called this kind of person the Übermensch, someone who rises above herd morality and lives by a value system of their own making. The Übermensch doesn't ask, "Am I allowed to do this?" but instead, "Is this worthy of me?" Just as a climber doesn't ask directions from someone sitting in the valley, a truly strong person doesn't wait for approval before making a move. They've left behind the land of acceptable to enter the territory of authentic. Have you ever stopped doing something just because someone disapproved? Deleted a post because you thought no one will care? The question isn't how often you censor yourself. It's whose life are you living? When your need for recognition drives your behavior, you're no longer at the wheel. You're just a puppet dressed up as an independent mind. Stoic philosophy teaches if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Growth demands the courage to look wrong. That's the price of freedom. The less you need approval, the more you're able to do what's right.